All you do know, or you can know, is your intention and why you do things, and make sure they're aligned with your core values. Welcome to Spiritually Hungry Summer Snack Edition.
Yes, we have been away for a few weeks.
The jet lag's real. Wow. I was fine. I actually love the jet lag coming from east to New York, like further east to New York, and go to bed at 7, wake up at 4:35, part of the 5 a.m. club. Like, I'm crushing it, love it. And then the last 3 days. And then inevitably you have like, oh, I'll just do this one more thing because we're used to pushing ourselves here to the limit. And then last night, our sweet, sweet dog had a little digestive tract issue. And so it was like having a newborn all over again. He was up, every half hour? I think until about 4.
No, till like 5:30, I think it was.
So now, I don't know if it's jet lag, but we're just tired. I've had 2 cups of coffee. Two cups of coffee and 2 matcha white chocolate chip cookies. And yeah, the dip's back. I'm tired.
Well, but we are also
I'm so excited to be
very
here.
excited to be sharing some of what we learned in our journeys in the past few weeks.
Yes, we learned many things. I think that what we want to start with is that, I never really liked this saying.
Don't bury the lead.
I'm sorry, you're interrupting me?
Yes. I just wanted to tell the story. I think it's an interesting story.
I'm not going to, you didn't even know, what did you think I was going to say?
I don't know.
Exactly.
The lesson.
No, I was going to say that I never liked this saying, but it's appropriate right now. We make plans and God laughs. But in fact, I don't think God's laughing. I think that we make plans and we think we know why and how and when and where, when really we never really know. All you do know, or you can know, is your intention and why you do things, and make sure they're aligned with your core values, which I feel like we do. So I don't think I gave anything away. So basically what we're saying in the very roundabout kind of way, we started our trip and our travels going to Israel. And our intention, so we thought, was to celebrate our youngest daughter's bat mitzvah. We thought that was really the purpose of going. Little did we know.
Right. So
I'll segue, because I know you like to tell the story.
No. Well, there's different parts to it. So our plan was we were going to be in Jerusalem with a group of about 600 of our friends. And everything was all set up. The venues, the meals.
Every single detail.
Celebrations. It was a very good plan. We were very excited for it. We land Thursday afternoon, and then the next morning,
middle
3
of the night.
a.m.
Yeah. No, yeah.
There is an alarm that comes all over all of our phones that tells us, and the hotel speaker, that we all have to go to the bomb shelter.
I love it. It's very calm. Please wake up. You need to leave immediately, in like the softest, calmest voice. And then it gets louder and louder, and then the sirens go off.
So some of you might know this or might not know this, but over the past few months, the Yemeni Houthis have been put every few days sending one missile to Israel. And that has been causing people to go. So my initial thought was, that's what's happening. Not a big deal. This happens every few days.
Although we did have an inclination that there was buzz, right?
Yeah.
But you never know but we still were very committed to go. We didn't want to disappoint our daughter. We didn't want to disappoint 600 people. I think maybe if it was just a family trip, we might have postponed it, but we were all in. And so, yeah, we got up at 3:30 in the morning, that first morning. We went to the stairwell. Then things got even more real, where we had to go all the way down to the shelter for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Yeah, not.
Well, I can say when I saw on my phone the alert, Israel attacks Iran, I realized this is going to be a whole different story than just having to go into the bomb shelter every few days for one missile coming from the Houthis in Yemen. So that began our journey. And what happened over the next few days is all the venues that we had set up and all the caterers that were set up for the event all canceled. You were not even legally allowed to gather.
Exactly. More than 10 people at any given time.
So
and every store was closed. Every single store, even restaurants, except for I think one like like 7-Eleven type.
Yeah, grocery stores, I think, were allowed to remain open. And then every day, starting then, every few hours, you had to go to a bomb shelter, which means, and the way the system works is there's a pre-warning, which tells you probably in the next 20 to 30 minutes, you're going to have a siren go off, which means you'll have to go into the bomb shelter. So for us, that meant having to wake up ourselves and then having to wake up our children who were with us and having to all go down to the stairwell or down into the bomb shelter. And of course, the initial reaction is, this is not what we planned. This is not, best case scenario. But
you and I are both very adaptable. We practice it a lot. You can call it certainty. And of course, with that comes flexibility and trust in the Creator and really understanding that we don't know. I think a few things came up. Somebody asked me, like, how did your daughter handle it? Was she scared? And, I think that she looked to us to see our responses, as children often do. And we were like, okay, we'll pack a bag. That's what we started doing. We packed water and an iPad or a book or snacks because we didn't know how long we'd be down there, but we made it very, very normal and natural. So, and one of her best friends lives in Israel. So she's been hearing about this for a year now, right? Going to the shelter. But I think also the biggest lesson, and again, there were many, was that we thought we were going there for a specific reason. We thought we knew why. What became very apparent to us was that we were definitely meant to be in Israel at this time, but it wasn't for the reason we thought, which is why the lesson is so powerful.
Right. And so the bat mitzvah itself, Friday night, we have a siren go off in the middle of dinner.
Wait, the first miracle is that, so we are not allowed to meet in more than groups of 10. We were able to have the hotel, so we couldn't go to where we were supposed to, but the hotel could accommodate 200 of our guests. So mostly the people who had flown there and were from out of town got to be together with us. So that was a big miracle because, again, no restaurants, no food, and luckily the hotel accommodated us. But yes, right within 45 minutes of us gathering, another siren went off.
And then the next day, and so again, sirens are going off all the time.
And that night, there were two more times.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you never really know. So you can't really move far. You're not supposed to legally move far away from the shelter because you never know at any given moment the siren might go off.
But even in those moments, beautiful things happen where people would sing together and talk and, almost a celebration, because I think what happens, and it's kind of a paradox, when one feels close to death in the way that it could be a possibility. I mean, it always is, right? You have choices to make. You can freak out and get really negative, or you can celebrate life because currently there is life, right? So that the whole experience was just one big paradox. So you think you know this, well, it's really this.
Yeah, and just a little bit more of the details is that, so Saturday morning when we had that other beautiful venue.
I feel like we're on When Harry Met Sally, when the couples like tell the story.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's kind of cute.
So we had to change venue, and really we wound up doing it. The celebration morning and afternoon was in a bomb shelter. So you walk down 6 or 7 flights of stairs into this room that's supposed to hold probably 100 or so people.
If that.
And I think we were about 350, very, warm, hot people. But all in all, it was, that celebration is definitely the way it was supposed to be. And I think the two things, and this for me were the two big lessons, and there was something you shared that I hope you can share with our listeners as well. One is that you're always exactly where you're supposed to be, right? So, and this I think probably an effect of...
Which we hear a lot, right? But that becomes really powerful when it looks like you're not supposed to be there.
Exactly.
Right? Like, yeah, I trust I'm where I'm supposed to be in life. And I think that, again, when it's like, if you haven't found your soulmate yet, or the money that you want to make hasn't quite come into fruition, but I'm exactly where I need to be, right? We trust process. But in this case, it's life or death, right? There are missiles coming at you. There's a dome that, thank God, works, that we could hear blocking missiles on Friday night.
I think it's about 88 to 90% of the time or so.
So we were in Jerusalem. Friday night, I heard 7 different bombs go. They were so close you could hear them, even feel them a little bit, but they were blocked, right? So you're close, but then, and in that state, when it's like, okay, we're talking about life and death here, that's when you really see where your certainty is, where you really believe I'm exactly where I need to be, it was such a powerful experience from that perspective as well.
And it's only an effect of, I think, practicing it. I think that's where, and I think we often say this, is that we're given opportunities every single day to practice the certainty that where I am is where I'm supposed to be. What I'm experiencing is exactly what I'm supposed to be experiencing. And I think being able to experience that at such a important moment in our lives, in our family's life, with all of our friends who came to join us, I felt very beautiful to be able to say, even in this extreme example, which is so different than what we had planned, no, this is perfect.
And the crazy part is I actually felt very taken care of by things that you can't see, like our ancestors that are not here anymore, like the Kabbalists that are not here anymore, by the Creator. Like I felt really, really watched, and I felt really safe. Like I never had a moment of fear. I was tired. I was sleep deprived. Physically, it was hard in that sense. But I remember by Sunday, we decided that we were going to venture out to go to the holiest site in Israel. It's the cave of Machpelah, where the first people that ever lived were buried, right? Adam and Eve, Isaac and Rebecca, Sarah and Abraham, etc. And when we drove there, we're like, okay, it's the daytime. Usually the missiles come in the evening. It should be fine. And we knew that there were no shelters along the road. But we're like, okay, we're going to test this and we think we'll make it. So the connection itself was really powerful. It's probably a different story. But when we drove back, we got the alert on our phone again. So as we were driving back to Jerusalem, back to the hotel, we get a warning on our phone, and we are in a bulletproof car because the area that we were driving to was just dangerous on any given day, really, because of where it's located. We pull over to the side of the road, and I said to the people we were with, we had somebody who, really is kind of versed in this. I said, well, I see a police station up the street. I'm sure they have a bomb shelter. Can we just go in there? They're like, no, they won't let us in, I'm sure. So he's like, don't worry, this car's bulletproof, which I'm like, well, yeah, but we're not talking about bullets here. Anyway, we'll pull over. And I remember Abigail looked at me and she wanted to make sure we were okay by the look. And I looked at her, I said, we're fine. Everything's going to be fine. Don't worry, we're safe and everything is fine. But I remember thinking, and I really believe that. And I thought to myself, and I think this is the profound other lesson that I had. I mean, there's many, but I think that when things go wrong, right, when it's not as we intended, the first thing that people usually do is they beat themselves up. How could I make this decision? Why did I decide to come here? My family told me not to do it. I did it anyway. What was I thinking? We go back, and we think we made the wrong choice. If only I had listened or I had done it differently, right? I think when you live a life where you really are your internal and your external match, where you're really aligned with your soul's purpose and you have that dialogue and you give yourself that feedback every single day, you don't actually arrive to those moments of regret. And that's really the goal. I think that's part of the spiritual pursuit. So when we were by the side of the road after Abigail asked me the question, I asked myself this, well, would you have done anything differently? And my answer was no, because I believe that we were supposed to be there when we were there. Again, the reasons I thought were different than what they were ultimately. And I had no regret in that. And I thought, if this is the time the Creator wants us to go, and this is how, then that's what it is. And I wasn't afraid because it was that level of trust. And I think that that's the whole point of spirituality. I don't think, everything else, kindness, compassion, you have to have all those things really to arrive to this state. But this is the ultimate state.
Right. And I think, and you said, and you shared this with some of our friends, when you're doing, especially because we were that day that it was the Sunday that we ventured out to Hebron, because we're doing something
it was purposeful.
That was purposeful, then there's this level of certainty and peace that comes with that.
That's the word. Peace. Yeah. Exactly. Because I remember also to the place that we went, it was very hard to get. Again, everything was shut down, everything. So to even go to a holy site that was shut down, and we met the person that kind of manages that. And he said a small group could go in of 5 people. And normally when you go to these places, You go and you ask for, blessings. You ask to be more spiritual. You ask to have sight. You ask to have clarity, right? You ask to have blessings. So when we were in the parking lot, and only a few could go, I remember thinking like, I'm already there, right? We're in the vicinity of this space. We know that righteous people, the place isn't holy. You don't go there because they're buried there. They chose to be buried because that place that they want to be buried already has a spiritual energy to it. So I remember thinking like, I'm in the parking lot, like this is still the vicinity, right? I'm good. So I decided to let somebody else go who had never been able to be there before. And it wasn't even a hard choice. And that's what was really profound about the trip. Choices that normally would have been hard in day-to-day life when we're consumed by our desire, right? That's the world we live in. This trip was not. This trip was more about giving, because especially during the circumstances with all the people that we felt responsible for, not just our family, but our community. It was just like, well, I'm going to go in there and pray to have clarity, to know what the right thing to do is in a situation, to be sharing, to be giving, to put somebody else before yourself. And so the fact that this person that I gave my spot to, because they had never been there, I was like, I don't need to ask for anything. Like I was able to see it in that moment. And that was really the power of the trip, all in all.
Yeah, beautiful. And like you said, it was an experience of connection to the light of the Creator in a way that probably is not possible.
It's harder.
Except in extreme circumstance, and only as an effect of a life lived both with a desire to grow in that certainty in all situations and living a purposeful life that allows you to have really peace. And I just want to underscore that situation. We're sitting there with our entire family and a few friends in a van,
side of the road,
in open space.
Yeah.
When you're being told on your phone, missiles are coming your way,
yeah,
and you are not protected in any way. And basically, you're supposed to be in a bomb shelter, and there was that sense in the van. Of course, there were some of our friends who probably.
I think everybody. I mean, yeah, but I think we were at the peace. Peace was the feeling.
Yeah,
and I think also, when you're in that kind of, I think that's the challenge normally in life. We do spiritual things and we look for points of connection and opportunities to share and to give. But really, if we're being honest, most of our day is filled with our desires. And that's how trips have been in the past to Israel as well. Yes, we go to connect, but I'm also going to go to the beach and I'm going to have this other time of pleasure. And the day is really mixed of all these things. Like I'm pursuing spiritual things, but I'm definitely also pursuing where do I want to eat tonight? There's none of that. This is all about think about everybody else and whatever the moment is, make it the most. So even on Saturday night, Abigail was supposed to have a bat mitzvah party. And honestly, kudos to her because, again, you can't gather. So last minute, we realized that we still need to feed everybody. Let's just make it a celebration. This saint of a woman decides to come. Her husband's in the army. He went off to go fight. She left her children home, drove 45 minutes to play music for 45 minutes with us. Those 45 minutes were the most elated time. We danced and we sang and we jumped and we celebrated because we knew that a missile was going to come again soon. And sure enough, it did. At 45 minutes exactly, we got the warning. We had to stop the party. But what we did in those 45 minutes, I don't know if we had 3-4 hours where there's no ending. You kind of just go and there's moments of connection and we'll celebrate and we'll dance. We'll make Abigail feel happy. We know we should. It's her bat mitzvah versus we have 45 minutes going to be the most elated 45 minutes of our lives. It's a different way to live. And I really hope to carry that. I hope to strive to be that every day of my life. It's work, but I'm so grateful to have had that opportunity and that taste.
Absolutely. So I think there's many lessons from here. And next week, we're going to share, I think, a little bit more about our
there's a part too.
In our trip. But I think for our listeners, what we really want to share is, and something we've taken from this experience, is to really push to be accepting of whatever processes we are in, big or small, because they're going to come to every single one of us in our lives, bigger ones. And the way to be able to handle those with certainty and peace is by grabbing the opportunities every single day. And the second, which I think is so profound, what you shared, is that when you wake up most mornings with a desire to have a purposeful day, then, and really live life in that way, then even when you find yourself in dangerous situations or life-threatening situations, there's a peace that comes with living a life that truly has purpose. And I really hope we inspire our listeners to use at least these two, if maybe there's a few other lessons that we've shared in this part.
I just want to add to that, because that was the other clarity I had. Then there were people that we saw that their experience was very fear-based, right? And they did go to that place of like, why did I come? You know, and I think that, again, for our listeners, if one really big way to shift this in consciousness is in every choice that you make to do something, to connect, to be present, to be in the moment, whatever's purposeful, make sure that you ask yourself the question, why am I doing this? Is it something I believe in? What is the goal? Because you need to weed out what is truth, what is the pure pursuit, and what is coming from somewhere else. And that will make sure that you live a life where your soul's desires match your desires of physicality, right? And then when things go as they weren't intended, you're not going to go to that place of blame, of judgment, both self and external. So that would be my biggest kind of offering in terms of a tool to get to that space in every moment of our lives.
Beautiful, beautiful. So we hope you enjoyed, more important than enjoyed, I would say this time, inspired by these sharings of these experiences. And we look forward to sharing even more, both of our experiences and hopefully lessons that we've learned, and like to share with you next week as well.
Stay spiritually hungry.